On February 23rd, 2021, one of the most storied golfers of his generation, Tiger Woods, lost control of his Genesis SUV and crashed in Palos Verdes. Let's visit the scene on PCZ TV. PCZ TV. Today's episode, Tiger's Bad Drive. On that fateful day, I heard what seemed like a scene from a Vietnam movie. Scores of news helicopters are flying overhead and hovering about. What the heck was going on? It was quickly revealed that it was due to Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger Woods is human. He has had more of his fair share of problems. Back problems, infidelity, a DUI, and on that February morning, Tiger had a horrific car crash in his borrowed 2021 Genesis GV80 SUV. Now, Tiger was apparently staying at the lovely Terranea Resort in Rancho Palos Verdes. He left the resort and was traveling north on Hawthorne Boulevard, going downhill. According to a diagram of the collision shown by the Sheriff's Department, there were 4 areas of impact. The first 2 were the sides of the median, taking out the city signs, and the third was the curb, and the fourth was the tree, hitting it at an estimated 75 miles per hour. Captain of the Lomita Sheriff Station, James Powers, recounts that after he hit the tree, Woods' Genesis went airborne, where it did somewhat of a pirouette, rolling several times before coming to a stop. So first of all, a big shout out to the Genesis engineers for the solid construction of their SUV. Hitting a tree is a significant event. Trees are immobile, and as such, all the momentum of the crash is imported to the car.
And we're back!
But what caused the crash?
Is it behind door number 1, or door number 2, or door number 3?
With a past history of DUI, one might suspect... But the captain of the Lomita Sheriff Station, James Powers, said that there was no odor of alcohol, open containers, or any narcotics in the vehicle or on Woods after the crash. And Woods told law enforcement investigators that he had not been drinking and had not taken any prescription pills. Plus, you know something? I believe him. This event occurred in the early hours of the AM. Come on.
Is it behind door number 1, or door number 2, or door number 3?
Compounding the issue was pedal misapplication. The sheriff advised that there was no evidence of braking throughout the collision. It's speculated that maybe Tiger inadvertently hit the accelerator instead of the brake pedal, because the accelerator was pushed down just below maximum. Now, the sheriff didn't speculate what happened and what was going on, but we can.
Every problem is absurdly simple when it is explained to you. Bum, bum, bum.
Perhaps it's because Tiger is in a car he's not familiar with. This is a borrowed car. And we've all rented cars before, and we're like, what? Where's the... I'm so used to this big... What's the... Or he's driving in an area he's not familiar with. Or maybe... he's distracted trying to fiddle with the Navi or the radio or his phone. Distracted driving, right? I mean, look, LA is typically flat. So if you're focusing on the Navi, you might not realize that he's picking up speed going downhill because Palos Verdes is a hill. He could look up and say, holy cow! And in that moment, hits the gas instead of the brakes. We'll never know. Distracted driving, unfamiliarity, plausible, but we'll truly never know. Now, Tiger was taken to Harbor UCLA, which is interesting because that's not the closest hospital, but it is the home of the emergency TV show, I might add.
And we're back!
And he had sustained multiple leg injuries and had surgery on his right leg at UCLA. So let's go explore the scene of the event. Here we are with my shaky cam. We are traveling north on Hawthorne. Now, it's hard to tell, but this is downhill. The folks who live in PV can tell you that we experience greater brake wear than the flatlanders who live below us. Tiger started to go astray here. So let's establish exactly where here is. Even back in 2021, some folks have already annotated Google Maps with the location. Another image showing the path of the crash. Now remember, he was traveling at 80 miles an hour plus. Now Hawthorne is a really busy road, and it's a miracle that he didn't crash into an oncoming car. That would be bad. So we have a lot of retrieval shots, a lot of crash shots, a lot of close-ups, but exactly where did his genesis come to its end? The first clue is the sign, the Rolling Hills Estate sign. This marks the first departure from the norm. And this image of the vehicle retrieval gives us an exact idea of where it is. Note the telephone pole markings. Here's the pole in question. So turning south and looking uphill, here's where Tiger came from. The sign he crashed through is circled. Wow, he really moved quite a distance. And here is the area which his SUV came to rest. When I went there in June of 2021, the area had either been cleaned up really well by the city maintenance crews or had been picked clean by souvenir hunters, as not one bit of genesis was left behind. Now, Tiger Woods has no recollection of the collision, and there were no witnesses to the crash, so this is probably something he'd rather put behind him. And I'm going to guess, therefore, he's not going to be watching this video. Tiger, if you're watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now, Tiger did thank the first responders, which is cool, including the local sheriff's station and Engine 106, our local fire station. But for a small town adjacent to the big city, this was quite the event for us in Rancho Palos Verdes. We are not in the news that often.
And now for something completely different.
Substituting for the Genesis is the Kent Fire Brigade Land Rover. Okay, I know it's a bad joke, but so's the title of this video, Mea Culpa. If you've been watching this far, I thank you.
Bye.
Transfer complete.